This is video number 2 in the HYGGE-LITE series. This will be HYGGE-LITE basic equipment. By the way, I believe it's Sunday, November 5th, 2023, and me, just call me John the Walking, Talking Bible Dear Jr. And I'm out to do a video on how I get a name like that. That's my YouTube channel handle. Okay, this is the gizmo I use for making the vacuum to draw the little shades. This is a U.S. General 2.5 cubic feet a minute vacuum pump. I got this one at Harbor Freight. You could probably get them from eBay. When I started out, I just used a regular vacuum cleaner, but this gives a better job. If you combine it with like an old propane, one of those 5-gallon propane tanks, empty propane tank, and a ball check valve is a pneumatic reservoir, you could probably even get better results, but this works good enough for right now. This is the vacuum head right here with a mold in place, and I'll do a quick little thing on how this all goes together. Okay, this is the vacuum head, and I cut some little slots on here. If I get enough interest, I'll do some, detailed technical videos on how to do it. It's actually very simple. I used to be a school shop teacher. Anybody, 7th grade shop class could do this. It's super simple. This draw bolt right here, rod, that's just 1/4-20 ready rod. And you thread it up through the bottom of here, and that's what you use to hold the molds, these little plaster molds on the top of the vacuum head. Okay, this is the special little oven I made to heat the plastic to form those little shades. Now take a look here and I'll show you the inside of it. This is an ordinary cooking thermometer. It goes up to 400 degrees, and this thing, it gets good and hot inside. It'll get up to about 400 degrees. Plenty of heat here. Okay, here is the inside. You got to use a porcelain. Light socket, because this thing gets awful hot. This is a 250 watt heat lamp bulb, standard heat lamp bulb. And then this is the converter. It converts the radiant heat off the heat lamp. See, these are painted black, so it converts the heat into conductive heat, from radiant heat into just hot air. And these are just standard pieces of ready rod. This is very simple to make. This is just ordinary roofing flashing that you get at the hardware store. Reflects most of the heat in, and then there's an insulation layer just of a fiberglass ceiling, one of those 2x4 foot ceiling tiles, but you can substitute something else. And then the outer insulation is just ordinary cardboard wrapped around here. And for safety, I used to be a school shop teacher. I'm always interested in safety. For obvious reasons, you use this when you're drawing your shades. You do it outside to eliminate the fire hazard, on a dry day to eliminate the electrical hazard, and also so you don't stink up the house. Everything outside on a dry day for safety, and well, that's the way you do it. Okay, this is the draw ring assembly. There's the draw ring. And you put a piece of plastic in here, 4 1/4 inches diameter. I'll show that in a second. And you put that in here, and you clamp it with these wing nuts. And you heat this up. You put this on top of that oven I just showed to heat this piece of plastic up until it gets real soft like bubble gum. Then you turn your vacuum on and suck it down on there, and that's how you make a shade. Okay, this is the inside of the draw ring. You can see this blank. I just outlined it in black. Piece of plastic. This is glycolated polyethylene terephthalate, PET, PETG. You can't use ordinary PET, and that's what pop bottles are made of. You can't reheat that. But just any ordinary plastic supplier, you can get a sheet of that, a 4x8 sheet of it. But I believe it's called PETG. I got my plastic over, I think it was Tri-State Plastics, over there across the river in Erlinger, Kentucky. but you use PETG. Making these round rings. Everything, basically, the furnace and everything's made out of these round rings. And it's really easy to cut them out, especially if you got a bandsaw, you know, or, you know, got access to a high school shop class or something. They could make them for you. If you haven't got that, I'd say get a sheet of 1/4-inch plywood at Lowe's or somewhere, and you can cut them out if you got a saber saw. And if you haven't got a saber saw, you cut them out with a coping saw and laminate them together. If, like I said, if people will give me in the feedback, say we need more information about how to do this, and I get 1,000, you know, people wanting to know how to do this, I can make a technical video explains every little gruesome detail how to do this. But these are just preliminary videos. Okay, now here's where you get the bubble tubes, these clear bubble tubes. Be sure to get the clear ones like this. Those ones that have full of the color in there, the colors are just too, well, get the clear ones. You'll see why later. These are made by Holiday Living. You can get them at every, I've got them in Lowe's stores everywhere from Tennessee all the way up here to Cincinnati. Lowe's stores normally stock them this time of year, so if you want to get into bubble lights, get over to Lowe's and get your bubble lights before they're gone. Here's the stock number right there. What you're going to do is you're going to very carefully break these plastic things right here. These plastic things, these things look terrible. They're so bright and terrible, but you're going to very carefully crack these like you crack a walnut, you know, wearing gloves. And do this outside, you know, protect your hands from glass, and you wear a pair of leather gloves. And then you're going to salvage these clear bubble tubes, and of course you got the sockets right there. Okay, now here's some ideas on the molds. These are made out of plaster, and like I said, if people will, in the comments on the video, I get some interest here, I can do some detailed ones on exactly how to do this. This first one right down here, it's kind of like a design for a 4th of July. So you can use these things, you know, for all the holidays. This one looks an awful lot like a Noma rocket, except that it's a lot more colorful, you know, right there. And a lot cheaper, too. I'm a Noma rocket. I think they're going $60 or so now each. But, okay. And this one right here is like little hearts on it. It's like Valentine's Day. As you can see, you draw the design actually on the mold and seal it with some Mod Podge. I think that's what I used on these. And then you put them on this decorating vise, right? Clamp them on here and clamps it down, and then you decorate and put the lines on, and then next to sun catcher paint. And you put a dust coat of flat white paint on the inside to diffuse the light on them. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do on this video here is, where do you get all the ideas, a lot of these ideas for making your little molds to make the shades? And the answer is, go to a thrift store. And these little glass things right here, you can get them a couple dollars a piece. You can see how that would make a nice little shade design right there, or that one right there, or that one right there. Of course, you've got to reduce them in size that will fit in the vacuum machine, but that's where you get the idea for them right there. Okay, now a trailer for a couple other projects I'm doing on Lightning Rod, on my YouTube channel, Lightning Rod PVN. And one of them is the Online Soul Combine. Well, when you go over there, it'll be listed as Online Soul Combine, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll explain that. But, you know, the most valuable crop in the world isn't, you know, with a combine, isn't wheat or grain or stuff. I believe it could be souls. And you can see the whole thing. I hope this piques your curiosity what I'm going to do with this. If you're trying to figure out where John, the walking, talking Bible Deer Jr. is coming from, where you get a name like that, basically there's two things about me. I'm an inventor, professional inventor, and I come from a family of professional inventors. Most everybody's knows what a self-tapping machine screw is, or the Play-Doh Fun Factory. Most everybody knows what a Play-Doh Fun Factory is. That was my dad that came up with that. That became a cultural icon. And my grandpa, he came up with a self-tapping machine screw, which went viral beyond his wildest expectations. And these little things you screw it like a fuse, you screw into a light bulb socket and you plug a cord in. That was another one of Grandpa's inventions. But my main thing is state-of-the-art gospel outreach and systematic Bible study. But I work on these other projects to give my mind a chance to cool off a little bit. But if I get plenty of interest, then I'll put these other items on the front burner of the stove, so to speak. I'm sure you've heard the term elephant in the room, you know, something that nobody wants to talk about, or something so big, but these dumb people don't even get it. There's an elephant in the room, they don't even know whatever, I'm aware of it. That's a little cartoon I saw on Google Images. And this is my version. You know, this is the title page for my version of Elephants in the Room. And here are some of the topics that I'm going to be dealing with on Elephants in the Room. I'm running kind of late on time on this video, so you can just take a look at them and try to imagine what they are. But basically, I was raised in an ultra-conservative Church of Christ. No water fountain, no basketball hoop, just book, chapter, and verse, you know. Every Sunday morning, the preacher used to fill 3 blackboards full of book, chapter, and verse. So basically, that's where I get this walking, talking Bible thing. That, you know, a wonderful knowledge of the Word of God, and the more I read it and study it, the more I'm convinced of its value. So you can take a look at some of these issues here, and you may be shocked or awed, but I don't think you're going to be bored on Lightning Rod PBN, and especially the Elephants in the Room series of videos. So I guess that pretty well does it for today. But if you'll tell everybody about these videos that I'm working on, and I get a lot of comments, positive comments in the comments department that, hey, I want to know more about this and all that, yada yada, well then I'll put these projects, you know, on the hottest burner on the stove, so to speak. Okay, well, I hope you found what's going on here, interesting and thought-provoking. And now my next step is to go in and upload this on YouTube. And here's another little project I'm working on, the Nonviolent Cure for Violence, and there's my YouTube channel, Lightning Rod PBN. So, well, I guess for now that's a wrap.